Hello, team, and welcome back to the Mosaic Podcast. This is a place where we build a business and a life, one intentional mosaic piece at a time, to create something masterful, beautiful, and extra not so ordinary. So this week, I am having audio related technical challenges. This is, in fact, the third time I am recording this episode. So bear with me a little bit. And I do want to say that even though I'm going to talk about a lot related to AI today and what some of the conversations that I've been having with AI transpired this episode of the Mosaic Podcast, there's a very strong message at the very end. So stay tuned for that. Now, I have been listening, you have been listening to this podcast for a while, and you know that I use AI every single day, pretty much. I use it at work. I use it for my research. I use it to challenge my thinking. I use it to brainstorm as a partner in my life. So this episode is really one of those conversations that inspired this episode, and it was different because I asked my AI assistant to analyze my podcast, not necessarily about the numbers, not the downloads, not to do like a search engine optimization, nothing like, not to market it or nothing like that, but really the podcast itself. So what is this thing that I've been creating every week for the last year and a half, right? That's the question that I ask. And the answer honestly stopped me in my tracks a little bit. And it's something that I didn't know, but really deep down I knew, but it helped me articulate it a little bit. So let me tell you what AI told me about the Mosaic Podcast, that what it wasn't, right? So what it told me is that it isn't about, this is not a health podcast. I'm not telling you how to lose weight, how to get healthier, right? That's not, it's not the main topic. It told me this is not a personal development podcast. It told me that this is not even about affirmations, even though there is affirmations in every single episode of this podcast. This is not entrepreneurship. What it is that it is integration. It's about helping people realize that small decisions that they make every single day are not isolated events. They are pieces. They are tiny pieces of the mosaic that we are creating here. Like the workout that you skipped or did not skip. The conversation that you wanted to have with your significant other, or you wanted to have and didn't, or did, right? The small decisions that you make, like the email that you wanted to send and you did or you didn't. The courage that you had to post something online. The decision to forgive someone, or most importantly, forgive yourself after something bad happened. The decision to call someone, or the decision to have that extra hour of sleep, or not to have that extra hour of sleep because you made the decision to do something different. You created a budget spreadsheet, maybe. The promotion that you applied for but didn't get or did get. The prayer that you whispered to yourself, right? None of those, when you think about it, none of those pieces seem significant by themselves, maybe. But together, they create your life. And I sat there reading this analysis and thinking, that's exactly it. Because I don't want you to become successful while you're sacrificing your life. I don't want you to become wealthy while losing your family or loved ones. I don't want you to build a business that you're trapped in rather than trying to seek freedom, right? I want all the pieces in your life to fit together to make that masterpiece. So this podcast isn't really trying to make people feel motivated, right? It's trying to make people feel responsible and accountable. And I love that distinction because motivation, we all know that motivation fades. But then if we take action, it doesn't have to fade. If we take daily action, that does not fade. It adds up. There are enough podcasts out there telling you to hustle and to hustle and to hustle harder, right? There are enough people telling you to wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, take cold showers and optimize every second of every single day. That is not what this is. That's not what I'm talking about, right? Even though it matters, sometimes I do record at 4 a.m. in the morning because that's what worked that day. Sometimes I record after a workout. Sometimes I record an episode when I am exhausted after a very long day at work. Sometimes I record and I'm grieving. Sometimes I record because I'm so excited of the possibilities. Sometimes I don't even know exactly what I'm going to say and I just hit record and I record it anyways. But I show up. Because showing up consistently is one of the pieces of my mosaic in my life. And maybe that's yours too, right? So what if, it isn't something that you're doing is not really failing. It's all, this is not about numbers, it's not about, statistics but it's playing the long game. It's playing the long game. Please play the long game. Right? Encouraging someone to do it in a way that makes a difference in the long run. If you can change by the actions that you make today, if you can change one person through the conversations that you have, sometimes even with yourself, it matters. The impact the impact that you make is sometimes it's invisible. And even if the invisible impact, it is still an impact. So the other thing that AI helped me articulate better, right? And it's not something that I didn't know, but it kind of made me smile, I guess, right? Is that I'm not building products. Yes, I am building products. What are you talking about? I am building products. But it is about an ecosystem, right? It's not just this podcast. It's not the subliminal vault that I have, right? It's not the application, one application. It's a bunch of them. It's not courses that I'm building. It's not one course. It's a bunch of them. It's not the affirmations. It's just a piece of it. It's an ecosystem. It's not one business strategy. It is a bunch of them coming together. It's an ecosystem that builds on top of each other. They are all trying to solve a simple problem. And it's not a simple problem. It's the same problem. And it is that helping people become intentional, not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect, right? We're not seeking perfection in this podcast. We're seeking intention. Because I truly, truly believe that anyone can create extraordinary life for themselves. Even though they take ordinary actions that are intentional, supported by intentional decisions over and over and over again. Just taking ordinary action, not perfect, ordinary actions that are supported by an intention. So you might be wondering, why did I even create the subliminal vault, right? So because hearing something once, it kind of helps you realize it. Oh, okay. It changes your awareness. Okay, I'm aware of it. But when you repeat something, it changes your identity. And it is true. I mean, research proves it, right? It does something. When you hear something repeatedly, your brain cells, neuroplasticity changes in your brain, and it helps, form habits. And it shows that the repeated messages exposing yourself, right, to that influence changes your thinking and behavior over time. And that's what that subliminal vault is for. But it supports this intentional system that I am building, that the intentional decisions that we make every day matters. But in subliminal vault is just a piece of this ecosystem that supports that methodology. So the vault isn't really magic. It's just a part of the mosaic, part of the product ecosystem that I have. It isn't hypnosis. It's not about that. It's not motivation, right? It is intention. It's simply a dedicated space where you can be intentionally feeding your mind the beliefs that you're trying to cultivate in your life while you're walking, while you're resting, journaling, or winding down at night. I don't know. But it's another mosaic piece. Doesn't matter. It's helping you to live a life with intention. That's the one that quietly supports all the other pieces, all the other products that I have in this ecosystem. So, I want you to ask yourself this week one question. What am I repeatedly becoming? Not what you're achieving, not your buying, not what you're posting online, but really who you are becoming through your daily decisions. What's the intention behind it? Because your identity isn't built one time. It's built one tiny piece at a time with intention. And today it's another chance to place one more piece. Today is just another day to make that happen. So the affirmations for this episode, I want you to feel it, let it sink. You trust that every intentional decision you make is quietly shaping the life you are becoming. You no longer measure your worth by immediate results because you understand that meaningful transformation often happens beneath the surface before anyone else can see it. You choose consistency over perfection, knowing that showing up again and again builds a foundation stronger than temporary motivation ever could. You allow every challenge, setback, disappointment, and unexpected detours to become another beautiful piece in your mosaic of your life, rather than evidence that you should quit. You don't quit. You release comparison. You embrace the unique path that has been prepared specifically for you. You're creating a business that serves your life, and instead of consuming it, you create relationships that nourish your soul. You create habits that honor your body. You believe that your work matters, even when the audience is small or the applause is quiet. Because the seeds that you plant today will become the forest you cannot ever imagine.
This last message is super important because before I leave today, I want you to remember something. And I talked a lot about the conversations that I've had with AI and how it inspired this episode with you throughout this episode, right? But I want you to know something, right? Maybe I used AI to analyze my podcast and help me drive and articulate some of the intricacies of the podcast content. But I want you to think about something. AI cannot tell my story to you. It cannot live my life. It cannot live your life. It couldn't walk through the hard times and the hard seasons of your life. It cannot celebrate the victories that happen in your life. Only you and I can do that. Only you can do that for yourself. And technology is incredible. I live it. I breathe technology every single day, and I love it. I'm very passionate about it. And it's an incredible thing. It's a very exciting time to be in this field right now. I feel blessed. But I also want you to know that your humanity is still your greatest advantage. So, and thank you. Thank you for letting me be one small piece of your journey in this life each week with you. So until next time, keep placing one intentional mosaic piece at a time, one after another, because every piece matters and they help us create our own stories, and they create something beautiful and meaningful. Thank you.